Bonjour à tous, bonjour à toutes. Ici Asmaa Coppery et je reviens aujourd'hui avec un nouvel épisode. Et ça va être sur le sujet de l'amitié en étant adulte. Le titre de cet épisode, c'est How to maintain or outgrow friendships as an adult. And we will also be talking about passive-aggressive friends. Alors, avant de commencer cet épisode, je voudrais vous donner une sorte de, pas feedback, mais update sur moi aujourd'hui. Donc, je me suis teint les cheveux, je me suis coupé une frange. Bon, la teinture, ça va être... Bon, je sais pas comment vous expliquer, mais en fait, la teinture, elle est un peu... J'aime beaucoup, ça fait... Bon, l'objectif, c'était que ça soit un blond cendré. Mais bon, ça m'a donné une autre couleur. Mais j'aime bien, franchement, j'aime bien. Ça donne un effet ensoleillé. C'est en fait comme si mes cheveux sont partis en vacances. Donc là, il faut vraiment que j'aille en vacances. 1, pour bronzer. 2, pour me reposer. Voilà. Écoutez, j'espère que vous allez bien. Moi, je vais très bien. J'ai aussi pu me reposer pendant ce week-end. Bon, j'avais un œil pas qui flanchait, mais j'avais un œil qui bougeait un peu. Non, pas qui bougeait, mais en fait, j'avais un nerf sous mon œil. Voilà, j'avais un nerf sous mon œil qui vibrait un peu. Voilà, je vous laisse imaginer, je ne sais pas exactement c'est quoi le mot qui doit être utilisé, mais voilà. Et aujourd'hui, je me regarde dans un miroir et je vois que il n'y a plus de nerfs qui bougent. Donc ça va, tout va bien. Et apparemment, je pense que c'était soit parce que j'étais fatiguée, soit à cause du stress, je ne sais pas. En tout cas, tout va bien, alhamdoulilah. Okay, so let's start the episode. So today we delve into a topic that affects all of us, friendships as adults. Specifically, we will tackle the concept of outgrowing friendships and how to maintain them while navigating the tricky waters of passive-aggressive friends. So grab your favorite cup of tea or coffee, I'm not here to judge, whatever drink makes you happy. And let's dive into this insightful journey together. So I chose this subject because it means a lot for me. I have found myself outgrowing friendships with my choice, and sometimes it was not my choice. A lot of friendships as I was growing up, like from college to like starting my first job to like now, and even like during primary school or like elementary, I think it is very common to lose friends or outgrow people from your life after you change school, when you graduate, when you start your career, or when you start your new family. So sometimes it can be pretty tricky and it's not easy for everyone to navigate through it. It can be also very traumatizing if you've known that person your entire life, and for you they were like literally family, and at the end of the day they do not no longer they're no longer part of your routine or like your future or like your current present. So friendships, those connections we form throughout our lives, can bring us so much joy, so much laughter and support. But as I said, as we grow older, we will often find ourselves evolving, pursuing different paths, and experiencing life in diverse ways, and very different from the people that we grew up with and that we've known forever. Sometimes this evolution can result in outgrowing certain friendships. So let's start with outgrowing friendships. It is a natural part of life, and we all change and develop at different rates, and our values, interests, and priorities, they can change sometimes. It's very common for them to change. And it is essential to recognize that When a friendship is no longer serving us or aligning with our current goals and aspirations, it's time to move on. It's not easy. It's definitely doable, and let me help you. So how can we identify when it's time to move on a friendship? So there's a few key indicators to consider when you are thinking of outgrowing a friendship or like move on from a friendship. If you find that the friendship feels one-sided, so like you're always the only person who puts in effort to call, to send a message, to ask to hang out, I think it's time to think about it, because you find yourself the only person who's making an actual effort to maintain this connection. And if the connection becomes draining or more draining than uplifting. Example, so like if you hang out with that person and most of the time, like the entire time that you're spending it with that person, you feel down, you're not in a good mental space, but you still hang out with them because they are quote unquote your friend, it's not sustainable for you. And if they keep draining your energy, like they are, how do you call it? Energy vampires or something like that. So if you're always feeling drained, if they keep being mean to you, but like as a joke, and they're never uplifting you, and this friendship is never like fulfilling, and whenever you leave that situation, you feel down and drained, and like you were wondering, okay, so you are hanging out with that person, like that group of friends, and in your mind you're like, you do not have the same values, you do not think the same, like maybe they just want to party, and you feel like you want to start a new career, or like they have like this group of friends, they have now families, they have like kids, etc., and you're still like, you still want to live your life, and you're still not ready to have a family and have kids, and start a family and have kids, not yet. Sometimes it can be pretty difficult to keep hanging out with them and actually having fun. So if you constantly feel undervalued or unappreciated, that's the word, I think it's a sign that you have outgrown this friendship and you're just hanging out with them just for the sake of hanging out. Now that I gave you an idea on how you can define yourself that you are about to outgrow your friends, or like you're in a movement of outgrowing your friends, let's talk about a tricky subject, which is passive-aggressive friends. And we all encounter them at some point in our lives. Maybe you are the passive-aggressive friend. And let me give you some examples and advice on how you can deal with those kind of people. So first, what is a passive-aggressive friend? It's a friend who have a behavior in the friendship that is quite challenging. So the friendship or the relationship you have with that friend is very tricky to deal with. So it's important to address it like as soon as it starts, or like as soon as you feel it. If you feel it. Firstly, you need to communicate openly and honestly about your feelings with your friend, because they are your friends and like they're your friend. So you have to feel comfortable being honest and having the adequate space in that friendship to communicate freely. So this explains how their passive-aggressive behavior can affect you, and you need also to express a desire to resolve the issue. So like sometimes you have like friends who are being passive-aggressive. Like for example, let me give an example of myself. I just changed my hair. So like if I meet friends, like, and I didn't tell anyone. So like I meet with my friend and I'm like, hey, look, I changed my hair. Perfect reaction would be, Either she likes it or not. Ooh, I like it. It's the good, like, change is good. Passive aggressive friend would react, I mean, if you like it, okay. See, the tone is different, the comment is different. It's not like the words that are used are not mean, absolutely not. But if you listen to it carefully, it's like she's judging you. Like my friend, like if I show her my hair and she reacts in a passive aggressive way, like she's judging me, or like she's not validating my choice. So remember that you need to address it as soon as it happens. And sometimes it's not intentional. Like sometimes we can be passive aggressive without being intentional, just because we're not paying attention. But if it's like a common behavior, like it's happening all the time, it's happening again and again and again and again, I think it's time to address it, because like they're your friend, you need to be comfortable with them and you need to communicate. So like active communication can often bring hidden tensions to the surface, leading to a healthier dynamic. And if that friend does not accept it, you need to understand, both parties need to understand what's going on and why the other person is being passive aggressive, or like, and maybe like, why do I feel like the way that they're talking to me, or like their comment was passive aggressive. Okay, so let's say you had a discussion about this situation and you're trying to resolve the issue here, and that friend is still passive aggressive to you. So in this case, it's very crucial to set boundaries. You need to make it clear what behaviors are acceptable for you and what is not. So like setting boundaries is extremely important. I sometimes forget to do so, but I think it's healthier for me, for you, for anyone that is listening, to set boundaries. Either at work, with your friends, with your partners, with your family. You need to set boundaries in order to live your life exactly how you want it to be. So, okay, let's be vulnerable, because I did not want to talk about it. But I mean, I don't know if that person is going to listen or whatever. I don't know who's going to listen to this episode. But I was in a friendship, or like a group of friends, where I guess I was the youngest one, and everybody, besides one person, of course, but like in friend group, everybody was being mean to me, or like being passive aggressive, mainly because one, I was not setting boundaries. I would nod and say, oh, maybe you're right. And but always passive aggressive, always judging me, always belittling me, because I was younger, and because I was the youngest in the group, in the friends group, and because I was not setting boundaries. So like whenever something happened, I would never address it, because I was scared of them putting me to the side, like, okay, whatever, we don't want to hang out with you anymore, or like they would not talk to me, or like they would ignore me. So I was always trying to be nice to them, even though they were not like really, they were not nice to me. And I think it was, I'm out of breath. Okay, let me drink water, because I'm not mad. It's just like it's bringing so much memories, and it's crazy. Okay, and sometimes it's not easy to have those kind of people in your life, and if you decide to leave that friendship, you can be seen as the bad person, or like as the one who wanted just to leave and being mean to everyone and chose to ignore. I would sometimes ignore them and pretend that I did not hear anything, like I did not listen, because I was tired of it and I needed to like breathe. So I think that was my mechanism of defense. And also because I was young.